You guys know what time it is. Time for the official Baltimore Ravens post-game show here on the Flex On Podcast YouTube channel. You guys know the drill. Before we get started, go ahead and sack that subscribe button. Stick that like button and bulldoze that bell to know when we're live for all videos. Only place giving you your sports how you want it when you need it. The Flex On Podcast. Ravens eke out a tight victory over the Denver Broncos. You see the avatars. I got D. I got Big Raj with me. Flex On Podcast, y'all official post-game show. Getting started shortly. What's going on, Ravens flock? What's going on, football fans, Flex Zone family? What is going on? It's God's favorite host, the host of the Moist, back here on the Flex Zone Podcast YouTube channel. Only place, fellas, give me sports how you want it.
When you need it.
When you need it.
What you need right now is the official post-game show. The Ravens eke out an exciting 10-9 victory over the Denver Broncos by a score of 10-9. Raj was there. He had the perspective of everything going on in the stadium. D was on location as always. Make sure, before we get started, before we say one more thing, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, hit the thumbs up, hit the bell. Let us know your comments on the Ravens 10-9 victory. What do you think about the Lamar Jackson injury, Tyler Huntley moving forward, the offense, the defense, whatever you want to talk about, leave it in the comments. Super chat us as well via VIP. Donate the channel as we continue to bring you this content. But you guys know who I am. Let's kick things off with your friendly neighborhood cousin D, back from a busy weekend of high school sports state championships in football.
Yes, indeed, Byron. Congratulations to Dunbar and Memphis Mill locally, getting the job done. Memphis Mill for the first time in 35 years. Dunbar just keep winning. Folks like that. I tell you, I told y'all last week, if it ain't tight, it ain't right. And boy, the Ravens know how to make it tight. And this week, the injuries piled up with the tightness. So, as you see the avatar right here, it was Fred Stanford-like, and we're going to talk about it here in a minute.
Make sure you follow Theo Damas at Don Sporting Net on YouTube, the social media producer, the man in the place, the man of the hour, Big Raj. What's up, brother? How you feeling?
What's going on, Byron? What's going on, man? I'm just coming back from this game, man. There was a lot going on. I already told you what happened during the game, but yeah, man, it's just a lot going on today. And I think Rob Long's Facebook post said a lot today, and I felt that effect of it. So I will get into it a little bit later, but it was a lot going on.
If you guys haven't already, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, hit that bell. And of course, we got a poll up in the YouTube community on the actual chat. Go ahead, vote on that poll. Let us know your thoughts on Tyler Huntley moving forward. Do you have faith in him? Do you trust him or not? Big Raj, I'm going to start with you. You were at the game as Fred Sanford tries to get back together. Kenny, yes, sir. We shouted out Dunbar, back-to-back champs. Congrats to them. Raj, your thoughts from the game, being there. What was the vibe like in the stadium? And what was it like after Lamar Jackson's injury? And you see the question. They got the win 10-9, game-winning drive. But how does this injury impact team? John Harbaugh, I believe, said a sprained knee, so he's probably going to be out at least the next 2-3 weeks.
It feels like last year again with Lamar, man. Be honest with you, even before he got hurt, even before they even started the game, it just going to the stadium felt different today. It felt flat. It felt unenthused. A lot of questions. People were cheering, of course, but it just didn't feel like Ravens football. Honestly, it just felt like, well, we're at this football game. They're going to play. They lost to Jacksonville last week. Let's see what they do this week. We're optimistic, but not really. The whole just vibe of it was just off. But I mean, before Lamar got hurt, it felt the same way. After he got hurt, it felt the same way. To be honest with you, I was there, but I wasn't mentally there. I watched the game. It was very, very tough to watch. It was a very terrible game. I'm not even gonna lie to you. The running backs looked terrible. The quarterback, both of them to me looked terrible. The play calling was awful. The fact that Greg Roman is even being vetted to be the coach at Stanford is crazy to me, because his play calling has been atrocious, man. And the schemes look terrible as well. I mean, everything just looked bad today, and they won. That's the crazy thing. They won, but everything looked just flat, awful, and terrible. It had no that was just no enthusiasm. And usually I have fun at Ravens games. Today it just felt like, well, I'm here, and people are here, but I don't know, man. Is this a playoff team right now? Speaking, I mean, record-wise, yes, but mood-wise, team-wise, camaraderie-wise, I don't see it, man. They play down to that competition. Every week it just seems like they're struggling to do something. Either Carolina or Jacksonville or Denver today, it just seems like they're going in the wrong direction, man. It really does. And with this injury to Jackson, to be honest with you, I don't think it really matters. It's me, if he gets hurt. If he didn't get hurt, it didn't really matter today, because I mean, we see the writing on the wall, man. We see that. I mean, he needs help, big time. He needs help. He needs wide receivers. He needs an actual real offensive coordinator that knows how to, scheme wide receivers open. And we see a lot of this stuff. And I mean, I've been watching a lot of Engraving. We're gonna have him on the show tomorrow, so don't fret. But I've been watching a lot of Engraving vids this weekend, man. And the vibe that he was giving off, I felt it. I felt it even more today going into the stadium. It's just, I feel like this team was lost. I really do. Although we won today, I felt like we lost, and I feel like we're going to lose a lot more going into the future. That's how I feel right now. But I mean, we got the win today. We're going to talk. I'm going to talk a little bit more about the ins and outs of each position group. But I just wasn't feeling it, man. And I don't like the way the way this team is going right now.
Appreciate that, Raj. D, I'm gonna come to you first, Sanford. Your thoughts on the game and the Lamar injury? How does this impact the team before we get into the ins and outs?
If you look at certain teams in the league, Cincinnati's playing as we speak now, right? It was first place last year. If we had their schedule, the Ravens would have no chance of making the postseason, like they did a year ago when Lamar got hurt. But the Denver Broncos are off. The scouting report shows that Russell Wilson is cooked. He ain't cooking shit. He is cooked. He's done. Let's make that be known. The Denver Broncos, if you watch them this year, they played 12-9 games and 15-10 games, and they're awful. So we knew what coming into it was. We knew what the Ravens was going to do. And Lamar Jackson, in hindsight, brother, maybe you should decide that deal a little early, because you're hurt now. You're going to miss at least a game or two. We're talking about the next opponent, because we all know this is not the time you want to go to Pittsburgh banged up. This is not the time to go up there banged up. But they found a way to their credit. But to Roger's point, it doesn't look good. It doesn't look good for a first-place team. They're not going to make it far if these injuries keep piling up the way they're piling up. And they had to rearrange the offensive line a whole bunch. I mean, that was crazy in itself. They really couldn't run the ball. And, I mean, none of the running backs really was effective. None of the wide receivers really effective. The offense sucked booty. It was booty-os this week. The offense was straight booty-os. It sucked. Props to the defense. The defense kept them in the game, but they did what they supposed to do. Denver's awful. The Cincinnati Bengals wish they was playing a team that's 3-8. They probably said, damn, we got to play Kansas City. We got to play New England still. We got to play Buffalo still. We got to play Cleveland, which Burrows never beat. And they got to play the Ravens to end the year. I mean, if we had the Bengals schedule, we would be screwed. But since we got to still play Cleveland, Pittsburgh's going to be very tough. They always are. Got to play them twice. Atlanta, you don't know which team you're going to get. And then they play Cincinnati in the year. If Lamar missed 2 games, come back Christmas Eve, it might be okay. But right now, offensively, the Ravens have no identity. Greg Roman needs to go. I mean, it's clear his time is up. He can go to Chicago and help Fields out, or he can go to Stanford. Because his time is up. They need somebody that can pass, that can get the receivers open. T. Martin can get the job done. He's in the building. Let him be the offensive coordinator this week. It's over for Greg Roman. It's over for him, Byron. And let Heart Attack Fred come back up here as you speak.
Yes, appreciate that, D. As you can see, we got the Fred Sanford. Make sure you guys vote on that poll. Hit that like button. Hit that bell. Subscribe if you are new. Let me go ahead and pull up the numbers here. Tyler Huntley. Let's talk about Tyler Huntley first. Let's talk about him. He started off a little shaky, but he was 8 for 8 on the final drive, 50 yards, 13 consecutive passes completed, a 12-yard rushing touchdown, which was the go-ahead touchdown, and the Ravens had their longest drive of the year, 91 yards. Like you guys said, Lamar's sprained knee, that's at least anywhere from 2 weeks to 4 weeks potentially, depending on how he heals. You guys' thoughts on Tyler Huntley moving forward. Like I said, the poll is up. Vote on your faith in Tyler Huntley. D, I'm going to start with you. Your thoughts on Tyler Huntley moving forward and the last drive he can play.
Well, Tyler Huntley, I thought, did a good job of being patient and taking what the defense gave him. He was shaky early because clearly he hasn't played all year. He came in last week in that one trick play and didn't do much there. But, Greg Roman, the play calling was not good. The crochet trick play or whatever devil that was not good to call at that time. It was 4 guys around Drake Lilly. I mean, it was just a bad decision, bad play call, bad decision, all that. But that being said, they tried to use Duvernay more in the run. Just wasn't effective. Huntley used his legs. He did, like I said, for him to come in the game without no practice, he did well. But now, going to Pittsburgh next week. You're seeing T.J. Watt. The Steelers got momentum. They've won a couple games in a row. The rookie quarterback's not making mistakes anymore. So it's going to be a different animal in Pittsburgh next week than being here in Baltimore. But I give Huntley I give him a B. B for coming in the game doing what he had to do.
Go ahead, Raj.
I mean, I'm not surprised the way Huntley played. We seen him play 6 or 7 games last year because of Lamar getting hurt. So him coming in and being able to do the job, it felt like night and day. I mean, him and Lamar are somewhat similar, although they have different tendencies. I think Huntley did a pretty good job, man. But yeah, that trick play in the end zone with him and Prochet trying to throw it to Kenyon Drake, I was like, what the hell is he doing? Why are we doing this? We didn't need to do that. We needed, if anything, just, if you can't get in the end zone, just kick the field goal. Just take the points. But we was trying to be cute. For what reason, I have no idea. And then the other interception he threw, he was trying to, get the ball out. He was getting chased down, but he was trying to get the ball out. And he just ended up throwing a stupid interception. But other than that, man, he did okay, but it is what it is. Even if Lamar does miss about 2 or 3, 3 games, I have faith that at least that Tyler Huntley can at least keep us in the games. I don't know about winning them, but I know he can at least keep us in them. But like I said before, this team, man, going down the stretch, including today, I don't know what else they got us look at. I don't know what else they got to see, but this team needs new leadership. Like D said, man, this team needs a new voice in the locker room. This team needs some more players that can actually get open and catch the football because it was bad. It was bad. No, don't get me wrong. Tyler Huntley did what he had to do to win the football game, but it was ugly. Today was ugly. You seen everything. I mean, we 3-and-outs. Bad offensive play calling. The whole thing was just ugly. The fans were booing at halftime. They were booing at halftime, man, because we couldn't get the field goal off. We didn't have enough time to spike the ball. It was just a cluster, Franklin, of a lot of things. But you know what, though? I will say this: I was able to see Steve. I was able to see Steve Bisciotti. I was able to see Ozzie Newsome. I was able to see your boy Byron. Dick Cass was in the building. Dick Cass was there. Yes, Big Dick was in the building. But Lee, that's neither here nor there. Marshall Yonder was put into the ring of honor. Marshall, that was the best. That was the best part of the game, was seeing Marshall Yonder being put into the ring of honor for the Ravens. So, and that's saying something. Oh, and if you didn't know, Jennifer Hudson was in the building as well. Jennifer Hudson was there. Why was she there? I have no idea. She was on the field at the beginning of the game, to give Russell Wilson a hug, but she had a Ravens jersey on. But it's just like, bro, there's no star power here besides Lamar, man. There's none. Now the defense is okay, but they don't have no name brand guys. Maybe Calais Campbell, but there's no umph in this team. There's no umph on the offense. There's no star power. And that's exactly how this game went. And that's how this season's been going. They need more stars on offense. Because if they don't get, because we all know we want a Super Bowl. That's the whole goal. The goal is to get to the playoffs and make a Super Bowl run. And right now they look nothing like a Super Bowl team. Not at all. They look like a team that has the same record as the Denver Broncos right now. But that's neither here nor there, man. That's neither here nor there. But it just I gotta laugh and keep from crying. You know what I'm saying? That's how I felt today. I had to laugh a lot to keep from crying for what I was watching on the field.
What's going on, everybody in the chat? Brian, Justin, Big Reg, Shanae, I saw you, Kenny. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, hit that bell. Let us know your thoughts on Lamar injury and Tyler Huntley moving forward. We got a poll up. Vote on that if you're new. Super chat us, like button, subscribe button. You know the drill. We do this after every Ravens game, win or lose, and we're here. Or tie, like the Commanders and Giants, but we'll get to that in a little bit. All right, guys, I want to get your thoughts. Raj, I'll start with you. Play clock management. Not many situations this game where it seemed like they had a sense of urgency. They actually got to the line and got the plays off and didn't get any delay of game penalties. And the offensive line today, no Ronnie Stanley yet again. They actually were coming into this game were 5-1 with Stanley and 2-3 without him. Now 3-3 without Stanley. Makari was in, then Lele came in. Big Lele, your boy. Then Makari came back in, then he went out, and Lele finished the game. The offensive line seemed like they were a step slow at times, not creating many run lanes. Raj, your thoughts on the offensive line, Ronnie Stanley, and this getting plays off in time seemed to be a little bit better this week. I can't say that was positive.
You could say it was positive, but they still played like shit. And I'm saying this because during the first quarter of the game, Lamar Jackson had no time to throw the football at all. He had no time to throw the football. He was very antsy in the pocket. Nobody was getting open. I think he got sacked at least 3 to 4 times in the first quarter alone before he got hurt. So you could say that they played. They got the plays off, and they was able to get to the line of scrimmage. With maybe 10 to 5 seconds left. That's all fine and dandy, man. But what you just said, man, Pat Makari in one play, Big Lele in the next play, Pat Makari back in again, then Lele back. Come on, man. Stick with one of those dudes, man. Damn. Once Lamar did get hurt, they did settle down a little bit and started playing a little bit better. But they still looked a little bit, I ain't gonna say they look trash, but they don't look good without Stanley. They need Stanley in there. They needed him today, that's for sure. They definitely needed him today. but the run game was awful. They only had, well, besides Huntley running the football, I think the running backs alone, all of them only had 43 yards combined, I believe. I mean, I think Gus Edwards had 12 yards today from what I saw on the stat sheet. I mean, this is Gus Edwards we're talking about. He could be your number one back. And and a lot of other people, a lot of other places, but 12 yards? Yeah, they got to the line of scrimmage and a good enough time to, make adjustments, but they still played terrible, man. And then yes, Denver's defense is great. They are like top 3 in the league. So I'm not going to put it past them, but you still got to do a better job, man, especially when you're at home. And they're still a 3-7 or 3-8 team now. You got to do a better job. Man. But yeah, all that going back and forth with Pat McCarry and Daniel Falele and people getting pushed back. They played well at times, but they didn't put together a complete game. But it is what it is.
Yes, Raj, you're correct. 43 yards for the running backs. Real quick, Tyler Huntley, 27 of 32, 187, 1 interception. Lamar Jackson was 3 for 4 with 11 yards before he went out, which he was sacked on that play. Prochet 0 for 1 with the terrible trick play, 1 interception. Huntley, 10 carries, 41 yards, go-ahead touchdown. Kenyon Drake, 7 for 29. Gus Edwards, 6 carries, 12 yards. Duvernay, 2 for 9. Jackson, 1 for 9. Hill, 1 for 2. Andrews, 1 for 1 on that 4th down. D, I'm going to bring you back in. Thoughts on the play clock and the offensive line situation. And run game, too. You can hit run game while you're at it.
Now, I don't know if McCoy was hurt at times, but him and Falele was trading left tackle spots throughout the game. The line, definitely the run game sucked. Hill didn't get enough chances again. I don't get what's up with that. If you've seen that Gus Bus was still kind of sore from his injuries, and Drake was up and down. You got to, again, like we said last week, got to use all you got to use everybody you got at this point. You don't got much. Maybe Dallas might be ready by the time they play Cleveland. I think he'll be ready next week. Yeah, run game's not looking well. Offensive line, they get a C, but it was not pretty. That was not pretty. When your quarterback has to be your leading rusher, and it's not because a lot of times he's rushing forward, it's because he's scrambling around, and you got your main quarterback hurt. Yeah, it's a problem. That's definitely a problem. Something's gotta change with that. Hopefully Stanley can return. Pray that Stanley can return. Put the Benny Hinn jacket on, please. Get him back out there. Maybe Lamar might have talked to him when he was in the locker room. I don't know. They got to get something together because it's not looking good, man. It's not looking good on that end. And defensively, the Ravens offense have to see still. Pittsburgh, Cleveland's defense not great, but it's not extremely bad either. Atlanta might be the softy out of all that defensively, but 3 of the next 4 defenses they got to see is very tough. And that's Pittsburgh twice in there. So got to get it together. You the Ravens offense.
And the thing about Stanley, his ass was standing on the sideline the whole game on that ankle. Ryan, I know you probably saw him. I saw him on TV with the hoodie on, standing right by where the offense was sitting, where Lamar and the quarterbacks were sitting. Huntley, his ass standing up the whole game, but he can't play. What's up with that?
Bro, when I saw the injury report today, it pissed me all the way off, man. And not because of Stanley. Stanley, I can understand. You got to take your time with him. That I'm not pissed off about that. I kind of figured he wasn't going to play today. But when you see David Ajabo and Kolar still on the injury report, still can't get on the field, that's a problem. That's an effing problem. I'm like, are you kidding me? We need these guys out there so we can see what they can do. We already know how this offense is struggling at this point. We need a bigger body, a 6'6" guy like Kolar, making take some pressure off a quarterback. And maybe the running backs as well. Maybe he's a great blocker. We don't know because we haven't seen him. David Ajabo, we already hold up timeout. Did we see number 99 today? Did he play at all today?
Actually, Owe had a sack, I believe, Raj.
He did. He popped up for a little bit.
Really? That's interesting because I don't remember seeing him at all. But
But
you know what?
look, his one tackle was the sack. That was it, by the way.
Well, like I said before, that was a lot going on today in the game, so I missed bits and pieces of it. But okay, he had a sack. Great. All right, what did he do? We still need to see what David Ojabo can do, man. He's a second round pick. He's been practicing for about a month and a half now. And for him to be on the inactive list again today, when we're playing the Denver Broncos and they're not very good and the weather is pretty good, it's ridiculous, man. It's ridiculous. But yeah, I wasn't upset about Ronnie Stanley. I knew he wasn't going to play today. He probably will start practicing next week. I expect to see him next week against the Steelers because they're going to definitely need him for that. But yeah, I'm not mad at Ronnie, man. Everybody knows that knee is suspect at its finest, and they're trying to preserve him throughout the rest of the season. So, I mean, yeah, he was standing on the sidelines with a hoodie on, but I see him stand on the sidelines with a hoodie on the first 5 weeks of the season. So it's nothing new. It's nothing new.
All right, let's get to these receivers. D, I'll start with you. Really not much to talk about, but Andrews 4 for 53. Robinson has kind of become the leading receiver, 7 for 41. Duvernay, they got him more involved, as you said, 6 for 34. Likely 4 for 30. Went down with an injury, but came back, thank God. Kenyon Drake 2 for 17. Deshaun Jackson 2 for 10. Prochet 2 for 9. Hill 2 for 4. And Ricard just 1 catch, no gain. Your thoughts on the receivers, D?
Yeah, it was a lot of thinking and dunking. No doubt about that. Not really much from the pass game. The Broncos is pretty good in the pass. We said that. We said their red zone defense was really good. This is Denver, by the way, not having their 2 pass rushes that they traded. Another pass rusher they haven't had throughout the year. So they was able to get enough pressure. Receiver core. It is what it is. Not good. We know this already. You got to get schemed well, and the scheme right now ain't scheming too well either. So not much you can do about it. I mean, it is what it is at this point. They get a B minus because they won, but if they lost, they got a C.
Go ahead, Raj. Your thoughts on the receivers and tight ends.
The receivers and tight ends, they were okay. We need receivers, of course. I said it to my uncle's friend, my man, Mr. Kenny, when I was taking him, home from the game. We had a long conversation, and it's just like we don't have any receivers, man. We don't. We got DeMarcus Robinson. He played okay today, I guess. Duvernay he's a poor man's Deebo Samuels who doesn't do half as much as he should on the offense. And then we have we have Andrews. He really didn't do anything today, and we had Likely who caught a nice pass. But we don't have any real talent on the offense. We don't. And it showed big time today. We knew that the Broncos could definitely stop the run. We talked about it all week. We said that they have a great line. Their safeties and corners are pretty good. Patrick Surtain is great. And but it's just like the Ravens don't have any real skill positions, man, besides Andrews. That's all they really have. And he had a down game. And when Andrews has a down game, it makes everything else look pretty bad. So I mean, to me, they earned, I guess, a C just because of the passes that they did catch. But it just shows that what we've been saying for the past, 4 to 5 years, we got to get some actual real talent in here, man. 10 years ago when we actually won a Super Bowl, we had Anquan Bolden. We had a guy like Torrey Smith. We had a guy like Jacoby Jones. And 2 years after that, we had a guy like Steve Smith. We don't have any guys like that anymore. And it's just a damn shame, honestly. I mean, we got an old Deshaun Jackson, but is there so much that he can do, honestly? He's very limited at what he can do at his age and, in his knees. So, yeah, man, the they look pretty bad. I mean, but for what they did catch from Huntley, kudos to him.
All right, let's get to the defense, guys. And both offenses were terrible. Broncos only had 272 total yards, Ravens 285, and I believe, let me see, Russell Wilson only went 17 of 22 for 189, so not much there. But let's go to the Ravens defense. Patrick Queen went down with an injury. Looks like he tore something. Looked like he was pulling maybe the back of his leg, the hamstring. He was carted off, had 7 tackles. Roquan with 6. Humphrey with 5, had a sack. And Owe had a sack as well. Only 2 sacks today. Roger Washington, 1 tackle. Matt BK, 2 tackles. Chuck Clark, 2 tackles. Marcus Peters, only 3 tackles, but we didn't hear his name much. JPP had 3 tackles. Kyle Hamilton was back and played well, 4 tackles. And Geno Stone, 4 tackles as well. D, your thoughts on the defense?
Thought the defense was played well in the win, of course. Did a good job, but Denver's not good. Not good. You see, Russell's cooked. Judy came back off injury. They lost Sutton, excuse me, again. Sutton went out again. Murray's the running back, but again, just limited on offense. And thought the secondary could not stop that tight end from Denver. The secondary had a hard time stopping him. Usually if your corners is in, and Humphrey was one of the ones leading the tackles, and see either he's getting sent to blitz, which he did a couple times, or he was trailing on a lot of plays, and he was trailing on a lot of plays too. So not much from Peters this week, or the house pigeon, as you like to call him, Stevens, the house pigeon. But defense played well, did what they supposed to do against a sorry football team on offense. Did what they supposed to do.
Yeah, bring up your cousin's comment, Raj. Boy, I bring you up. Like he's saying thigh bruise. That was a hell of a thigh bruise then.
Yeah, man. It looked pretty bad. Well, be honest with you, I didn't get to see the thigh bruise because I seen somebody get bruised in the stands in a fight. I seen somebody almost get thrown off the section 538. But anyway, that's a whole nother story for another day. I didn't actually get to see the injury, but yeah, I saw the card come out. I'm like, wait a minute, who's the card for? And I saw that they put Queen on it, and then I was like, oh, this might be season ending. But I mean, it's just a thigh bruise. To me, it reminds me of like Paul Pierce when he got wheeled off in the NBA Finals. But I mean, hopefully Queen is okay. Hopefully, he might miss a week or two, but I'm happy for him. I'm glad that he didn't get seriously hurt. But the defense overall played pretty well today. They played way better than they played last week. Marcus Peters played a lot better. Owe had a sack, or as Brian said, he fell into the sack. He said Humphrey had a sack as well. Campbell played pretty well. He almost had his 100 sack. He almost got the Russell Wilson, but he missed him by an inch. But overall, they had to hold it down for the offense today, man, because the offense was putrid. So I'm glad that the defense stepped up. They got the job done. But Russell Wilson and that their offense is terrible as well. Even though they have the weapons, they have the receivers, they just can't seem to get right. For what reason, I have no idea. But yeah, the defense did what they were supposed to do. Roquan Smith played a hell of a game, had 11 tackles, two tackles for loss. He was all over the field today, and that's probably our biggest pickup during the mid-season. So hats off to the defense, man. They definitely kept the Ravens in this game, and they gave us a chance to win it at the end.
Real quick before I get you guys a game ball, not so game ball for the Broncos. Latavius Murray, former Raven, 17 for 47. Russell Wilson, 2 for 18, 2 for 21. Mike Boone, 6 for 18. Marlon Mack, 2 for 3. Montreal Washington, 1 for -1. Greg Dulcich, the rookie tight end, 6 for 85. Jerry Jeudy, 4 for 65. Latavius Murray, 4 for 14. Other than that, not much else. We had Patrick Surtain with 6 tackles. Justin Simmons had 2 interceptions. Alex Singleton with 17 tackles today. So, uh, yeah, big. Their defense is pretty legit. But D, let's get your game ball, not so game ball from today.
All right. Let's start with the not so game ball. Injuries, man. Just the injuries. The injuries sucked. Too many of them. Of course, Lamar was the biggest one, but just too many injuries, man. Hopefully, get that thing tightened up. We had the Queen injury with friendly fire, man. Man, Bouquet nailed him in the side and the leg. That's how he got hurt. So injuries is the not so game ball. The game ball does go to the defense. They got it done. They found the way. They held the sorry Bronco offense in check. They didn't let them get off. So props all to the Ravens D as a whole, able to get the job done.
My game ball goes to Roquan Smith for having a hell of a game. Like I said, 11 tackles, 2 for loss. He was pretty much the person that kept us in the game, or well, at least one of the leading factors that kept us in the game, and gave us a chance to win at the end. He played a hell of a game. So shout out to him. My not so game ball has to go to Greg Roman, man. Has to go to that terrible play calling, man, because it's just like another week of iffy football. You're supposed to be the run guru. Okay, you're supposed to, help this team, run the football effectively and call plays that give us a chance to run effectively. And for the past couple weeks now, or the past 3 weeks, honestly, we've been running the ball like crap. So you gotta get this not so game ball, because you gotta do better. You gotta do a lot better. And on top of that, I mean, please take that Stanford job. Just go. Get out of here. Leave. But anyway, that's my not so game ball. It goes to Greg Roman. My game ball goes to Roquan Smith. And yeah.
Appreciate that. Raj, let us know your game ball, not so game ball. Game ball, standout player, and not so game ball. Your dud of this game or any other game from today before we get into the week 13 recap so far and get on the scoreboard. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button, hit that like button if you're new as well, and follow our brother D on Die Sporting Net as well. Big show tomorrow. We will have Engraven on the flagship podcast tomorrow at 10. Hit that bell so when we're live to hear his thoughts after crazy Ravens win nonetheless. Let's get to the scoreboard, fellas. As week 13 is moving quite along. Thursday, Bills beat the Patriots 24.
Not much offense at all from New England. Buffalo's rolling. The Patriots are going back. They got to offensively set themselves back together, because if not, the Patriots will be sitting home for the
I didn't see most of that game. I'm not going to lie to you. But Buffalo, I mean, I expected them to win. They got the job done. New England is in the transitional period right now of finding out if Mac Jones is the guy that they want to be the quarterback, or if they might need to go in another direction. But to me, they're in the same situation as the Ravens are. They don't have any receivers either. So we don't know what Mac Jones could really be. But we shall see. But like I said before, Buffalo, I expected them to win, and they got the job done.
We had the Packers. That bad man owns the Bears, D, 2019, Duck Dodger.
Yes, he does. And Mr. Watson, I picked him up in fantasy a couple weeks ago. He's doing it up, baby. So Aaron Rodgers, like he said, still own the Bears. Fields are still running, just not enough. And Chicago's in the transitional period. Green Bay is still in the playoff race. It's barely, man. It's still.
I mean, hey, Green Bay has to have some type of hope, right? After the season they've been having. But, shout out to Green Bay. They got the job done. Of course, I didn't see it because I was at the game, but sounds like another Justin Fields almost win, because I seen that they started off hot and then they fell flat on their face in the second half. So there you go.
The team the Ravens play next, and we'll get into that before we get out of here. The Steelers win again. They're still alive, Raj, 19-16 over the Falcons.
Yeah. Pittsburgh is not going to go away. They never go away. They're always a tough team. It don't matter who's on the team, clearly. But yeah, I knew that going into this that the Steelers was probably going to be our toughest task. As always, it never fails. And of course, they were going to beat the Atlanta Falcons. They're not a good team either. But yeah, man, they still have a slight chance of making the playoffs as well. So I expect a barn burner next week.
Go ahead, D.
Yeah, Atlanta, you just don't know what you're going to get, but they're not good. That's clear. They're not a good football team. I thought Atlanta had a slightly enough to beat Pittsburgh, but again, Kenny Pickett's doing a good job. He's not making mistakes. He's doing a good job. Pickens had homecoming down there. Steelers defense, with J.J. Watt in there, they're different defense. They're much better with him in there than when he's not in there. So we get to them playing the Ravens in a moment. But are you surprised Pittsburgh beat Atlanta? Not really. This Atlanta's not really much good. It's not special.
Next, we had the Q's Jets made it close with the Vikings, but the Vikings get a 27-22 win, Raj.
Yeah. Shout out to the Vikings, man. They got the job done. They beat the New York Jets, who have a pretty good defense. Quarterback situation is still so-so, although Mike White had over 300 yards passing, couple, interceptions. But, the Vikings is a top-tier team also, so they was going to find a way to get the job done, especially at home. So, yeah, shout out to the Vikings.
Yeah, I think the Vikings defense really showed up in the last two series. I mean, the Jets was at the 1 yard line. They could not get the ball in. Then the Vikings got it back. The Jets made them go 3 and out, and the Jets still couldn't get it in to end the game. So the Vikings defense really showed up. Zach Wilson is done as the starter for the time being for the New York Jets for this year. That's all. He might as well get that clipboard, join Joe Flacco on the bench. They can sing Kumbaya, talk about it, dance around, because Zach Wilson ain't getting back in unless somebody gets hurt. That's just the way it is. But props to the Vikings. They get it done. They're getting closer. I think they clinched the playoff spot today, didn't they? I think them and the Eagles both should.
2017, so not surprised.
Yeah, I think both should have clinched the playoff spot. So props to them.
Well, D, I'm gonna keep you on the screen because Hammer was dancing in Detroit like Motown. Beat the Jaguars 40-14, and this is a team the Ravens lost to last week. Can't believe it.
A shame. The Lions. Roger's been saying it over the weeks that the Lions coach Campbell, they play for him. A lot of people's throwing the towel on Campbell outside of Detroit. Kind of like I'm like the brothers got energy. They play for him, and clearly the Lions is turning it around now. Yes, Jacksonville's not good. The Ravens, unfortunately, couldn't get the job done against Jacksonville. The Lions did. The Lions' future looking kind of good right now, I gotta admit. Looking kind of good. We got to see if Fabio Lawrence is the guy. I wouldn't throw anything away yet, but he needs maybe another running weapon. And defensively, the Jaguars have to rebuild their defense. They let Miles Jack go. They had other stuff happen. That's the side of the ball I think Jacksonville need to focus on in the offseason.
I don't even want to talk about this game. It kind of pissed me off when I saw the score update when I was at the game. And I'm like, yeah. Well, I mean, I wasn't surprised. I think I picked the Lions. I think we all picked the Lions to win on the picks on Monday. But
I picked Jacksonville.
Okay. Well, you picked Jacksonville.
Oh, wow.
It didn't surprise me, man, to see the Lions beat them. But to beat them like that pissed me off because that's exactly what we should have did. But that's neither here nor there.
Yeah, I picked the Lions, unfortunately. The Jaguars thought they would use that win against the Ravens to bounce back. Eagles 35-10 over the Titans. Hammer pretty much expected, right, D?
Yes, indeed. The Titans, these are games we talk about with Tennessee. They can't win. They can't. When they play upper echelon teams on the road, they usually struggle unless for some reason they go to Kansas City. And even this year, they couldn't beat Kansas City. So games that the Titans can't win. I think their wide receiver caught the touchdown and got knocked out early in the game. And A.J. Brown had a field day. He had revenge. Jalen Hurts, folks, we got to accept this. Right now, is better than Lamar Jackson. I know people might not want to be saying that, or hearing it, but Jalen Hurts have progressed as the quarterback of the Philadelphia Eagles. The play calling has progressed with him. Lamar Jackson's play calling has regressed, of course, and he at times has regressed here in Baltimore. So Jalen Hurts right now, he's my MVP leader. And he's doing a good job in Philadelphia.
See, I'm not gonna sit here and I'm not gonna say that that Jalen Hurts is better than Lamar Jackson because Lamar Jackson doesn't have Jalen Hurts weapons, nor does he have Jalen Hurts offensive coordinator. We don't know what Lamar Jackson could be with an actual coordinator and actual weapons, but that's neither here nor there. I will give Jalen Hurts his props though for using those weapons and offensive coordinator and all that surrounds him to his advantage, and whooping teams' behinds this year. So I'll give him exception on that. But as far as that other thing, I mean, I can't say that about Lamar Jackson. We don't know because we don't have what he has. And that's the biggest problem we have in Baltimore is we don't have that type of weaponry.
It's been like that forever here with the Ravens, man. So I mean,
but you can't say forever because let's go. I didn't say it earlier in this telecast.
I'm talking about drafting them, Monk. Drafting them, we haven't done it. They drafted Mr. Smith. They drafted him. They drafted Sanders.
I get it. I'm just saying, 10 years ago when we won the Super Bowl, we bought Anquan Bolden from.
Yes, we had to buy him.
San Francisco. We drafted Torrey Smith. We got Jacoby Jones from Houston. We got people here that can get the job done. And Dennis Pitta and Ed Dixon, we drafted, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
So we had
tight ends,
to get things done. We don't do that here anymore. That's the problem. That's why I can't exactly say that Jalen Hurts is better than Lamar Jackson because we actually really don't know. Lamar's not working with that much.
As of right now, he's better. As of right now, that could change. I hope it does because I got the man jersey on for crying out loud, so I wanted to change. But Jalen Hurts has done a good job.
It's going to change. It's going to change one way or another, either here or somewhere else.
D, I agree with you, D. I agree with you right now. Give me Jalen Hurts. He's making throws and he's running good as anybody.
And decision making as well. He's patient and let the defense. He takes what the defense does.
Browns over the Texans, 27-14. Deshaun Watson. Your thoughts on him, D, and the Browns win?
I watched some of that game. It was on the right of me. Deshaun hadn't played in almost 2 years now, so you expected him to not be crisp. He wasn't. He was rusty. But the Houston Texans is by far the worst team in football. They couldn't stop him. They couldn't stop Cleveland defensively. Or, the offense just turned over the ball. We had a pick six, another turnover. People Jones had a kickoff return for a touchdown. So Houston special teams sucked too. So the Texans are awful. They're in the Bryce Young sweepstakes. They definitely will be winning that, no doubt about it. But the Browns defense is still good. I'm trying to remember who the Browns play next week. I know they get the Ravens the week afterwards. But Cleveland, they're not going to do much this year. Their season is just playing to get Watson ready for next year and get him ready.
Bengals, then Ravens, D. Bengals, Ravens, Saints, Commanders, next four.
Well, they for the Browns, they have a good shot to beat the Bengals because I don't think Burrow's ever beaten Cleveland in his career yet. So Cleveland got a shot there. And they got a shot to beat the Saints. Then we'll see what they do against the Commandos. I know we're talking about that.
Go ahead, Raj.
I'm gonna just say this, man, and there's no shot at the Cleveland Browns or even Deshaun Watson, but Houston is a terrible football team, but they're a terrible organization, man. And I'm saying this because the pettiness, man, of bringing 10 of his accusers to the game to patronize him is flat out ridiculous and uncalled for. You didn't have to do all that. It's almost like you're telling us that you set him up, in my opinion. It sounds like you set Deshaun Watson up for these past couple of years because he wanted to leave your team So you wanted to get back at him for stuff like this. And not only that, but you want to bring his accusers there? With the lawyer? Really? And put him in suites? Disgusting, man. Very disgusting. Very disgusting. I'm glad I didn't see any of that game. I probably watched the highlights of it. But when I heard that going into this, I'm kind of glad Cleveland whooped their ass. They deserved it. They deserved to get beat down like they did. Because that's all of this is ridiculous. And for them to do that and then to keep jabbing on at it, it's even more ridiculous. But that's neither here nor there.
And that's goofy of the week right there, if I ever heard. That's goofy of the week.
Agreed. Definitely very, very goofy. Like they did all that just to get tickets to sit in the suite at a game and watch them play. I don't know. Speaking of which, the Commanders and Giants tie at 21st. Tie between NFC East teams, I believe, since 97.
And in 97, it was the Giants and the artist formerly known as the Redskins at the time. I actually remember watching that game when they tied each other back in 97. But it keeps both teams in the postseason because I think if Seattle's losing now, but if Seattle wins, I think it still keeps Washington in because they had that 0.5, they had a half in there. But I thought both teams, offensively was effective at times, and at times it wasn't effective. Going back and forth. Saquon Barkley woke up a little bit and did well. We said it. I know Cavante probably said it. Wentz will not see the light of day again as an NFL star. So Heineke's in there. The funny part is for Washington, how did they come out to buy? They play the Giants again at home. It'll probably be a Saturday night game in all likelihood now on NFL Network. And the Giants got the Eagles next week. So ain't no cakewalk for the Giants. I've seen the Giants schedule. They still got Minnesota to play. They got Washington again to play. And they got the Eagles 2 more times. So the Giants' schedule is tough. They are a little ahead of schedule, in my opinion. But if they don't make the playoffs, it wouldn't surprise me. And if they make it, it wouldn't surprise me either. But kissed your sister today, Washington and the Giants. And you didn't lose, but you didn't win.
All I can do is shake my head at this. I flat out thought the Commanders was going to find a way to win the football game, but I mean, to go and get a tie. I mean, it just goes to show you that both of these teams are on equal footing. Honestly, I mean, the Commanders seem like they're on the up and up, and the Giants are trying to hold on to the up and up. So, I mean, I'm pretty sure both teams play hard. I'm pretty sure they both did a bunch of silly things during the game as well. But yeah, man. I mean, it's crazy because they're both in the playoff spot, so it keeps them both in the playoff spot, like D said, at least for another week anyway.
Yeah, Giants have Eagles, Commanders, Vikings, Colts, Eagles to end the season. So definitely not easy for those G-men in New York. Let me go to my next game. We know the Ravens beat the Broncos 10-9, currently in the fourth quarter. Jimmy G is hurt with the ankle injury, but the 49ers leading the Dolphins 23-17. Dolphins have the ball, I believe, D.
Yeah, they do. They're driving now. Tua has not looked effective in this game today, and I thought that would happen because the 49ers defense really attacks you. They come at you. They're very unrelenting, and you're not going to have that time that I know usually the Dolphins usually like to have to kind of get Waddle, them inside plays. They did get Tyreek Hill one long pass for a touchdown. He did get his one long pass for a touchdown, but as long as the 49ers, because they got the rookies at for them at quarterback. As long as he takes what the defense gives him, don't make a mistake. Tua has made 2 of them. I think the Niners can pull this out, and I had picked the 49ers to win. And I think they definitely show they are one of the more tougher teams in the NFC.
That's a bad injury for Garoppolo because, I mean, the guy they got right now, well, I don't know what his name is. What is his name, Byron? You know who he is? Because I know it's not Trey Lance. So whoever the third-string quarterback is right now.
Brock Purdy. Purdy.
Okay, Brock Purdy. Okay.
Rookie.
Yeah. Yeah, man. They're gonna need Garoppolo back. Now they could win the game today, and they could beat the Dolphins, but they're gonna need Jimmy G back. So I mean, that's all I gotta say about that. Hopefully Jimmy G is okay.
Yeah, they host the Buccaneers next week as well. And Raj, I'll go back to you to start with the Rams leading the Seahawks 23-20, under 2 minutes to go.
The Rams look pretty good today. Uh, Fighting hard, although they're missing a lot of pieces. In Seattle, I mean, they just every time I see Seattle now, they just look vibrant. You know what I'm saying? They look like they got a pulse, and they look like they're still in contention to try to do something, unlike the team that Russell's on. But yeah, I mean, both teams are playing hard. I think the Rams might pull it out, but we'll see down the stretch.
Yeah, man. Seattle's kind of they are alive, but they have been playing over their head, so now it's coming back down to earth a little bit. As Pete Carroll's trying to hang on, I know they got the ball now, and they're down 3. But I think with the Rams knowing now, okay, Matthew Stafford's on our arm. He's not coming back this year. So we know now what we can do in practice every day. Eva's going to be. I think it's still a third string quarterback in here, right, Byron? For the Rams. I don't think the second string's still in there. Like Rod's saying, a lot of injuries. The Rams just trying to finish the season out, man. They got the trophy last year, and that's all that matters to them. So, and Seattle definitely has won in the Russell Wilson trade, and they'll be getting some top picks from the Broncos. So Seattle definitely knew they was doing. They fleeced Denver. Denver's under that big contract, that noose. Not the noose, but the chain is on their foot now. The rope is hanging around the neck. No
It's a noose. It's a noose. It's okay.
It's a noose.
Right.
Denver is in a lot of trouble. Hey, John Elway jumped off that ship at the right time, boys. Because they're done. They're done in Denver. I'll tell you that right now.
Let's just say he rode his ass out of Baltimore today. but yes, the noose is around their necks, and they're in the back.
Did y'all see the cap hit? Did they even try to cut Russell? They can't even cut Russell for 3 years.
They're stuck with him, D. They're stuck with him.
They're stuck.
Hey, guys. You're like, hey, guys, let's ride.
Be dry. That's how.
Oh, man. Real quick. John Wolford, the practice squad QB for the Rams. Yes. I got a few more games here for you guys. We have the Raiders beating the Chargers. I actually thought the Raiders would win 27-13. D, same old Chargers.
Yeah, the Chargers are overrated. I said that before the season started. Everybody always hype them up. Oh, they're going to win the division, or they're going to be a playoff team and all this. And really, since Herbert and the coaching staff has gotten there, it's been hype. They haven't been able to win. It's just been hype. And the Raiders, I got to admit, this will be the Raiders' third straight win. So they're trying to trend up after being trash for most of the year. And, the Chargers is proven again, and I think the Chargers and Patriots play each other here, don't they? No. I think the Patriots play the Raiders coming up. The Chargers got the Dolphins next Sunday night, though, and that could be a huge game for the Chargers. That might finish their hopes off as a wild card team if they lose to Miami next week.
Real quick, they have the Dolphins next Sunday night, Titans, Colts, Rams, Broncos the end of the year.
All right, so the Chargers are going to charge, man. This is what they do. They look like a good team early on. Then midway through, they're doing stupid stuff, and then at the end, they're fighting for a playoff spot, and then they come up short. This is their formula. This is what they've done for the last couple of years, and even with another coach, they're still doing the same old stuff. So let's ride.
Bengals leading, just scored a touchdown, I believe, 27-24 over the Chiefs. Tribal Chief, D, is he going to do it again?
I told Roger last week before this game came to be, I said Cincinnati has a really good shot of winning this game, I think. They was playing with the desperately in Tennessee last week. I changed my pick to the Chiefs, but I even said, hey, the Bengals, I can see them winning this game. It wouldn't surprise me if they did, and I think it's going to come down the stretch. Patrick almost hurt himself there in that spin move to get that touchdown in, barely. And Chase is back. They still don't have Mixon in Cincinnati. Like I said earlier, the Bengals should be the one saying, "Damn, look at our schedule. We the ones should be struggling to score points and stuff." They're in these games and then times getting it done. And like I said, they still got Buffalo, New England, and like you said, Cleveland next week. They got the Ravens to end the year out, man. So their schedule is still very tough. But Tampa Bay as well. I think the next time CBS got a doubleheader is Tampa Bay and Cincinnati. So the Bengals are holding on. I think the Bengals will still make the playoffs, though, because, like we said, the Chargers are charging the Jets, and the Jets are going to come back down to earth because they got the Bills, I think, next week. And I think Cincinnati will still get in even with this tough schedule they have.
Yeah, man. Even though the Bengals have a tough schedule, they're a great team. I think they're going to win today. I think they're going to pull it out on Kansas City. Although I picked Kansas City to win the game early on, sometimes the Bengals is just going to find a way to win this game. To be honest with you, schedules really don't matter. It depends on how your team is playing. If your team is playing great or they have a chance to do something, they're going to play great. They have a chance to do something. I don't give a damn who Cincinnati plays for the rest of the season. They're going to be in almost every game, and they might win. They're going to probably win most of them. So, yeah, man. The Cincinnati Bengals, they're still the class of this division. Even though the Ravens are leading it right now, they're still the class of this division, man. So, we shall see going down the stretch, but my money's on them.
Cowboys, Colts, Sunday night D real quick.
They talked about should NBC have flexed out, NFL or NBC should have flexed out this game a couple weeks ago. They thought the Colts would have had a chance tonight. They don't. And clearly the Cowboys are a rating draw. But the Cowboys should win this game. But knowing the Cowboys, they'll keep this game interesting for them maybe. I have. But the Colts are not good. Matt Ryan's not good. Dallas should win this game.
Okay, so we went from Jeff Sunday to Jeff Monday, and now we're Jeff Sunday night. I don't give a damn about this game, be honest with you. I don't care. The Cowboys should win, and they should win handily over the Colts. But just, you know how the Cowboys are sometimes. They get their heads inflated and they find ways to lose. But I got them boys winning. I think they'll pull it out, but we shall see. We shall see.
And what could be the last Monday night game of Tom Brady's career, right, D? Monday against the Saints?
It could be. Now, he was able to exercise the Saint demon early this year in New Orleans. The Saints have no quarterback. I mean, we always say it. You don't have a quarterback, you don't have much of a chance. And their defense is going to keep them in the game with Tampa Bay. The Buccaneers is clearly out of sync. We don't know if their running back situation. Tampa Bay, they're going to ride it out. They're going to win that sorry division. And they're going to lose even the first round or at best in the divisional round. And Tom Brady is going to ride off to the sunset finally, ride off the Fox, call it a career. No shame in that. Number 2 best quarterback of all time in some eyes. Number 1 in others. I have no problem with either. And he's going to go, and he's a first ballot Hall of Famer, unanimous Hall of Famer. He's the second best quarterback of all time, at worst, no doubt about it. So, Tom's had a great career. It's been a wonderful life. The Saints suck. They don't have a quarterback. They need to draft one next year. They need to find a way to get up in the draft so they get one of the quarterbacks.
God damn it, you show some respect for Tom Brady. He is not the second best quarterback of all time. He's number 1 on everybody's list, except for your.
Not on mine. Not on mine.
My goodness, man. Tom Brady, it probably will be his last Monday Night Football game, though.
Thank God.
I think the Buccaneers handled the Saints again. But yeah, man, we're not gonna sit here. We're not gonna do this to Tom. Thomas has earned everything. Right?
I just said he's a first ballot Hall of Famer. I did not just say that.
I don't give a damn.
I said he's a unanimous Hall of Famer.
He's number 1 quarterback of all time. Not number two,
He's
number one.
He's number 2.
One. You see that?
Because guess what? How many Super Bowl losses he got? He got 3 of them things.
I don't care. He got 7
3.
rings.
He's 7-3. Yes.
7.
Let's make him second all time.
7
Let's make
championships.
second all time. Second. Got to be over.
We're not gonna do this, all right?
That's like NBA. It must be like our friend from Akron, LeBron James. He will never be better than Michael Jeffrey Jordan.
Yeah, because Michael got 6 rings.
That's right, 6-0.
Real quick, Lakers in town tonight playing the Wizards down the road. D, real quick, Raj, your thoughts on the Lakers? They have a little heartbeat.
Hey, man. I was watching that game on Friday when they played. Speaking of my Lakers, they are by 18 right now. But I was watching the game on Friday against them and Bucks, man. I was seeing your boy Stephen A. Smith. He was on the couch with a couple of celebrities. He was watching. Chris Red was there. Kendrick Perkins was in the building. You know, he had your boy from SmackDown. Pat McAfee was in the building as well. So yeah, he had a lot of people in there. You know, watching and eating food. So, and the Lakers, I mean, they have a chance, man. I mean, they continue. Right. If Anthony Davis can stay healthy and play like he's playing right now, they have a chance to make some noise.
Let's preface this. It looked like Bradley Beal might be hurt again. He only played 3 minutes in the game so far. If that's so, he must be hurt again. Anthony Davis got 24 points. He ain't looking bad. Byron, if they get over 500, we'll see. But it was a good one against Milwaukee. Some of the teams they played, they should have beat. They should have beat the Spurs. Spurs suck. They're in rebuild mode. They blew lead to Indiana. I'm not that impressed with the Lakers yet, but they're getting there. They're not a title team. The West is more wide open than it's been in recent years because the Warriors are still kind of struggling, especially on the road. But I'm not impressed with them. They got to show me.
They have a chance to be. They have a chance to be a title team.
Hell no.
Listen,
hell no.
Only if Anthony Davis can continue to play. Play like that.
That's big if. Big if.
Well, let's look ahead as we get ready to get out of here. Week 14, Ravens head to Pittsburgh, 1 o'clock on CBS. D, your thoughts?
First of all, the good Kevin Harlan's good to hear him call the game. He's going to be calling the game next week as well in Pittsburgh. I hate playing the Steelers in Pittsburgh when it's after a physical game that you had to deal with injuries. And this was a physical game the Ravens had to deal with today with Denver. So now you got to go up to Pittsburgh, playing a Steelers team that's Kenny Pickett's getting better. Is he making plays that much? At times, but not really. But he's not making the mistakes that he's making early in the year. T.J. Watt's batting on that Steelers defense. It's going to be a very tough football game. And get him ready. He's going to need a lot of this, a lot of heart medicine, because it's going to be another one of those. But every game with the Ravens is like that. So you all should be used to it by now. I mean, even I'm used to it by now. Just get the heart medicine, put Fred Stanford's pitcher around the jar, around the pill box, and take it before the game because you're going to need it.
I am not looking forward to this game next week. Because this is right down the Steelers' alley. This is right in their realm. They're on a little win streak right now. They're feeling good about themselves. You know, the Kenny Pickett is not turning over the ball as much no more. And this is a kind of game where the Ravens will go in there and look like they did today and get beat handily by them. Not really looking forward to next week's game, like I said before. Lamar Jackson probably won't play. No Patrick Queen, and probably no, Kolar or Ajabo because we still haven't seen them yet. So I doubt we see them next week. I don't know what to expect. I honestly don't. I think the Ravens will play hard, but I think that the Steelers will just do what they do, man, and they're gonna find a way to beat the hell out of the Ravens, either by hook or by crook. But I'm not feeling it at all, man. Not like it was a couple weeks ago.
Not stealing the game. No,
not just stealing it, but beating us down to win the game.
Well, we will be here next week after the Ravens Steelers post game. Make sure you guys hit that bell for all notifications as we get ready to put the kids to bed and get out of here. D, let the people know how to keep up with you and what you got going on the channel. High school football state championships and basketball bowl games.
Yeah, that's one that was rolling now. We got a lot of action coming from the basketball side. Like I said, you get to see Dunbar state title win up on our YouTube channel now. Public school basketball is back in business, so you see Parkville this week, Carver against Epperson, and a lot of girls action down the PG area, including at the end of the beginning of next week, St. Francis, Hall the 6th to Mather back in action.
Appreciate you, D. Raj, let the people know how to keep up with us. And very special guest next week for tomorrow, a little bit over 24 hours, episode 370.
Man, hit that like, hit that subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. We do a lot of post-game shows for Ravens. We talk a lot of things, and we keep the content moving. But yes, we have a very special guest tomorrow. Engraven Vids is coming back tomorrow to chop it up with us about these Ravens and the direction they're going in right now. I know he has a lot to say. Trust me, he's a guy that you need to listen to. He's the voice of reason for real. So I'm pretty sure he'll let us know what his insight is about what the team is and maybe the future of this, Lamar Jackson and a couple other things. So just stay tuned, man. Stay tuned. We'll be on at 10 o'clock tomorrow. So, hit that like, hit that bell, hit that subscribe. Make sure you catch us because it's going to be a very, very entertaining show.
Yes, perfect timing having Engraven on Lamar's injuries, Tyler Huntley taking over the offense ineptitude, playing the Steelers, holding on to the division lead, injuries galore. You can vote on that poll, by the way. It's still up. Go ahead, super chat us, donate to the channel. Hit the like button, hit the bell. The Flex Zone 1 at Twitter, Instagram, and the Flex Zone Podcast on TikTok. Follow .sport.net. Of course, as always, hit that like button. As we mentioned, we'll be here live tomorrow. Hit that bell. Engraven Vids joins us for episode 370. Raj will be back. The whole crew will be here. We'll be talking Ravens with Engraven, Commanders tied with Cavante, Goofies of the Week, and college football playoff revealed as well. We'll get into that and possibly some Deion Sanders news. Might be a video coming tomorrow from yours truly talking about that as he takes the head coaching job to Colorado, of all places. God's favorite host for Big Raj, for D. Thank you guys. We'll be back live next week for the post-game draft of the Ravens Steelers. Hit the bell, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Do it now. We out of here, y'all. Appreciate y'all for watching us. This has probably been the best post-game show of the season. A lot of interesting topics. Appreciate you guys. Stay safe out there tonight. Stay warm. And we'll see you next week. Peace.
And just like Russell Wilson says, let's ride. To another loss, that is.
You ain't cooking nothing.
Have a good night, everybody.